Many skeptics say we do not have enough evidence of massive plagues that would have devastated Egypt around this time. But this is assuming the plagues were more powerful than what the biblical texts state. Most of the damage the plagues would have caused would have only been temporary. The next year would come, and most of the damage would be covered up. Something like the Nile turning to blood would have been devastating for that year, but the following year, the Nile would have returned to normal and helped undo a lot of the economic impact. The plagues were a combination of various natural disasters, most of which would not have left behind any evidence. There are logical explanations for how some of these could have played out. The Nile turning to blood could have been caused by an algae bloom in a Nile estuary, or heightened silt deposits that normally occur during inundation. That could have triggered a chain reaction, causing species like frogs to come out of the river and resulting in the death of the fish and amphibians, bringing things like flies and disease. But much of this would not have left a permanent scar on the land, except for one. In Exodus 10:15, it states the locusts not only ate the crops, but destroyed the trees. Trees are a lot less resilient to that kind of damage, whereas crops can regrow the next year. Now what we find is after this period in Egyptian history, there was a wood shortage. Starting in Dynasty 20, the Egyptians started recycling coffins because there simply was not enough wood to make new ones. We wouldn't expect to find the wood shortage starting during the time of Ramesses II, because the Egyptians could still harvest the existing trunks from the dead trees, the same way loggers will sometimes go in after a forest fire to harvest what wood they can. But new trees would not have fully grown for several years following this event. So over time, a wood shortage would have been felt in Egypt. And correlating with this, we do see a wood shortage in later generations after the 19th dynasty,